Okay, complex numbers consists real part and imaginary part. The notation is real z equals to x, imaginary z equals to y. And remember, I is equal square root of -1, therefore I square equals -1. Complex conjugate, the notation is z star or z conjugate, is the opposite sign of imaginary number. If we have z equal 3 plus 2i, so z star equals 3 minus 2i. In operation with complex number, let's say z1 equals 2 plus 3i and z2 equals 8 minus I. So z1 plus z2, you add real parts and imaginary parts altogether, same with the subtraction. Addition and subtraction, it looks like algebraic expression. And then for multiplication, z1 times z2, 2 plus 3i times 8 minus I, and you do same like on algebra expansion, and then we get 16 minus 2i plus 24i minus 3i square. And remember, I square is -1, so replace I square by -1, and then we get z1 times z2 is 19 plus 22i. For division, z1 over z2, 2 plus 3i divided by 8 minus I, the method is same like rationalize the denominator, similar method. Multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator, and then we get this expression simplified. And remember, if there is an I square, replace by -1, then simplified, and then we get 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5i. Next, the square roots of a complex number. Find the two square roots of 5 minus 12i. Every square root of complex number must be the complex number. Okay, so if we need to find the square root of complex number, the result must be in complex number form. Let's say square root of 5 minus 12i equals x plus iy. Square both sides, and then we get this 5 minus 12i equals x squared minus y squared plus 2xyi. We equate the real parts from left hand side and the right hand side, so we get x squared minus y squared equals to 5, and then the imaginary part is -12 from the left hand side and 2xy from the right hand side. Solve this simultaneously by using a substitution technique. You can change y or x. Let's say I make y as a subject, so y equals -6 over x. Substitute this into the first equation, and then we get a quartic equation. Okay, and then factorize this completely into the x squared form. So and then we get x squared minus 9 and x squared plus 4. Okay, so x squared minus 9 equals to 0, x squared equals to 9, then x is plus minus 3. Okay, how about the x squared plus 4? Since x and y are real numbers, so we reject the x squared plus 4 equals to 0. Okay, and then substitute these two values into y, and then we get when x equals to 3, y equals to -2. And when x equals to -3, y is 2. So the square roots of 5 minus 12i are 3 minus 2i and minus 3 plus 2i. Okay, next, solving polynomial equations. When polynomial equation with real coefficients has complex roots, they occur in complex conjugate pairs. For example, solve z squared plus 2z plus 5 equals 0. Using quadratic formula like this. Okay, And remember, if you have square root of negative 16, it becomes 4i. Okay, from square root of negative 1 is I. Okay, and then we get negative 1 plus minus 2i. So the roots from this equation are negative 1 plus 2i and negative 1 minus 2i. This is the conjugate pairs. Next example, show that 1 plus 2i is a root of 4z cubed minus 11z squared plus 26c minus 15 equals 0. And then find the other two roots. Okay. From this type of question, we must show that 1 plus 2i is a root. Okay. Since z equals to 1 plus 2i, we can find z squared, okay, and then z cubed. You can choose either binomial expansion or do manually like this. Find z squared first, and then we get negative 3 plus 4i. So z cubed is z squared times z. So we multiply, and then we get z cubed is negative 11 minus 2i. Okay, we insert these values into the equation. Okay, replace z cubed by negative 11 minus 2i, and z squared by negative 3 plus 4i, and z 1 plus 2i. Okay, calculate this, and then we get the result is 0. And remember, since all the coefficients are real numbers and one of the roots is complex number, so the conjugate must be one of the other roots. Therefore, our first z is 1 plus 2i, so the conjugate of 1 plus 2i must be the other root. Okay. And then next step, we're finding a quadratic factor of the polynomial. Since z equals 1 plus 2i, therefore z minus 1 minus 2i is the factor of the polynomial. Okay, same also for this. Okay, we remove to the left hand side like this. Okay, and then we multiply both factors to get the quadratic factors. Okay, simplify. Remember, this is the form a minus b, a plus b, and then we can find the expansion is a square minus b square. Okay, and then we get the quadratic factor of the polynomial. So to find the final root, we use long division. The 4z cubed minus 11z squared plus 26c minus 15 divided by z squared minus 2z plus 5. And then we get 4z minus 3. So 4z minus 3 is one of the factor. This is the linear factor from our polynomial. So the z is 3 over 4. Therefore, the other two roots are 1 minus 2i and 3 over 4. How about if the coefficients are non-real numbers? For example, solve z squared minus 4iz minus 13 equals 0. Okay, by using a quadratic formula, using similar method. Okay, with a is 1, b is negative 4i, and c equals negative 13. Insert these values into the quadratic formula, and then we get 2i plus minus 3. So the z, okay, 3 plus 2i, we keep the order is x plus iy, and negative 3 plus 2i. Okay, remember, if the coefficients are not real, okay, the roots not in conjugate pairs. Okay. Okay, for next question, solve the equation 1 plus 2i times w plus iw star equals 3 plus 5i. Give your answer in the form x plus iy, where x and y are real. Okay, let's say w is x plus iy. Therefore, w star is x minus iy. We substitute these two values into the equation. Okay, so 1 plus 2i times x plus iy plus I times x minus iy equals 3 plus 5i. Expand the left hand side. Okay, rearrange. Okay, real with the real parts and imaginary part with the other imaginary part. So x minus 2y plus y. Okay, this is the real part. So iy plus 2xi plus xi, it becomes the imaginary part. Equate the real from left hand side and the real part from right hand side. So we get x minus y equals to 3 and y plus 3x equals to 5. Solve simultaneously, and then we get x equals to 2 and y equals to negative 1. So w is 2 minus I. Next question. The complex numbers v and w satisfy the equation v plus iw equals to 5 and 1 plus 2iv minus w equals to 3i. Solve the equations for v and w, giving your answers in the form x plus iy, where x and y are real. Solve these two equations simultaneously. We use substitution method. V plus iw equals to 5, so v equals 5 minus iw. Substitute this value into the second equation. Okay, expand and simplify to get w equal negative 5 minus 7i over 1 minus I. Okay, this is like the division. So with times, we multiply both numerator and denominator by 1 plus I. Simplify it, and then we get w equals 1 minus 6i. So to find v, substitute this value of w into the first equation, and then we get v equals negative 1 minus I. Next part of the complex number is the Argand diagram. It is possible to represent the complex number x plus iy by the point x, y in a geometrical diagram called the Argand diagram. Similar like Cartesian axis, but we change the x-axis by real part and the y-axis by imaginary part. So let's say x in positive, y in positive. So we can state the coordinates of the complex number denoted by z. This. Yeah. The modulus of a complex number is denoted by modulus z or r. Now, how to find this value? You just using Pythagoras theorem. So r equals square root x squared plus y squared. Remember, only the real and imaginary part without the I. Okay, and the argument of a complex number is denoted by arg z, stands for argument, arg z, or theta. To find theta is using tan inverse y over x, which the value of theta lies between negative pi and pi. It's kind of a bit tricky for argument. Let me explain the argument in these for example. Okay, determine the modulus and the argument of the following complex numbers. Illustrate in Argand diagrams. First, we have z1 equals 2 plus 3i. Illustrate this complex number into the Argand diagram. So the position of z1 is in the first quadrant, okay, like this. To find the modulus of z using the formula 2 square plus 2 square equals 2 square root 2. Now how about the argument? The argument is tan inverse 2 over 2 equals pi over 4. So this is the way to find the modulus and argument in first quadrant. You can just insert tan inverse y over x. how about z2 negative 2 plus 2i? Nah, negative 2 plus 2i is in the second quadrant. Okay, this is the position of z2. To find the modulus, same method, find the length of z2, square root of negative 2 square plus 2 square, and then we get 2 square root 2. And for the argument, okay, first finding the smaller angle in here. This value is tan inverse 2 over 2 without the sign, without the negative sign, and then we get pi over 4. Therefore, the argument of z2 is pi minus pi over 4. So the argument of z2 is 3 pi over 4. This is the method to find the argument in second quadrant. Okay, how about the third and fourth quadrant? For example, z3 equals negative 2 minus 2i. This is in the third quadrant. Remember, to find the argument in third quadrant, we use a negative angle. Same like the second quadrant, finding the smaller angle first. Okay, this is pi over 4. So the argument of z3 is negative, open bracket, pi minus pi over 4. And then we get negative 3 pi over 4. Oh, the modulus are same, right? Negative 2 square plus negative 2 square. 2 square root 2. The last one for z4, 2 minus 2i. For this complex number, which is in fourth quadrant, we can find the theta 4 directly. Tan inverse y over x. So tan inverse negative 2 over 2. And then we get from the calculator negative pi over 4. The modulus are same. Okay, so this is to method to find the modulus and argument in fourth quadrant. From first quadrant and fourth quadrant, you can directly finding the tan inverse by inputting value of y and x. But from the for the complex number which lie in second and third quadrant, you can use this method. The other forms of a complex number. There are three forms of a complex number. First is Cartesian form. The second one is polar form. The last one is exponential form. Z equals to r bracket open bracket cos theta plus I sin theta is the polar form, and z equals r e to the power of I theta is exponential form. R and theta are modulus and argument respectively. So r is modulus of x plus iy, and theta is the argument of x plus iy. Now, the other two forms can be used to determine the modulus and argument of the product and the quotient of two complex numbers, and also the n power of a complex number. Let's say if I have z1 and z2 in polar form, without do multiplication like algebraic expansion, we can state that the modulus of z1 times z2 is r1 times r2, and the argument is theta 1 plus theta 2. Similar for quotient, modulus of z1 over z2 is r1 over r2, and the argument z1 over z2 is argument 1 minus argument 2. Okay. The two square roots of a complex number of z equals ra to the power of I theta. For the two complex number, if the complex number is in the form exponential, you can choose this method, this formula, square root of r e to the power of I theta over 2 and square root r e to the power of I of theta plus 2 pi over 2. For example, it is given that u equals to negative square root 2 minus square root 2i. Express u in the form re to the power of I theta, where r more than 0 and theta lies between negative pi and pi, giving the exact values of r and theta. And also the b, find the two square roots of u, give your answer in the form r e to the power of I theta, where r more than 0 and theta lies between negative pi and pi, giving the exact values of r and theta. Okay. Remember to draw the u in Argand diagram first. Since u in the third quadrant, the method to find argument, finding the smaller angle first, and then the theta is negative, open bracket, pi minus the basic angle or the smaller angle. Then we get negative 3 pi over 4. And then u is 2e power negative 3 pi over 4i. And then how about the two square roots of u using this formula? And then we get our first square root from u is square root 2 e power negative 3 pi over 8i, the theta divided by 2, and the second one is square root 2 e to the power of argument of u plus 2 pi over 2. So the two square roots are square root 2 e to the power of negative 3 pi over 8i and square root 2 e to the power of 5 pi over 8i. For the last parts of complex number is loci of various complex number construct. There are three different loci. The first one is modulus z minus a equals to k is a circle centered at complex number a with radius k. The second one is modulus z minus a equals modulus z minus b is a line that bisects the chord joining the complex numbers a and b are and perpendicular, or in other way, perpendicular bisector. The last one is argument z minus a equals to beta is a half line from a complex number a and makes an angle beta with the direction parallel to the positive real axis. For example, a is modulus z minus 2 minus 3i equals to 2. So this is the center is 2 plus 3i. Okay, the form is minus. So factorize this to get the center. And then the radius is 2. Center at 2 plus 3. And then radius 2. And then we get the circle. So the interpretation is z is any point lie on the circle. This is z. Okay. For b, modulus z minus 2 equals z plus 2 minus 4i. So this is the perpendicular bisector from a equals to 2 and b equals to negative 2 plus 4i. The default is z minus a. So from the left hand side, this is the point, and then this is minus negative 2 plus 4i for the second point. Negative 2 and negative 2 plus 4. So perpendicular bisector from this point is the blue line. So the interpretation is z is any point lies on this line. The last one, argument z plus 2 minus 2i equals 3 pi over 4. So the a is negative 2 plus 2i. This is our starting point. And draw horizontal line parallel to real axis. And then makes an angle 3 pi over 4. So the locus are half line. Okay, how about dealing with inequalities? On a sketch of an Argand diagram, shade the region whose points represent complex number z satisfying the inequalities modulus z minus 2 minus 2i less than equals to 2, argument z between 0 and 1 over 4 pi, and real z less than 3. Our first locus is circle, center at 2 and 2i with radius 2. So this is the circle. For argument equals to 0, so this one, and 1 over 4 pi, this one. And the last one is real z equals to 3. So this is 3. The shaded region is fulfill 3 inequalities. For the circle, since the inequality sign is less than, so shade inside the circle from half line is in between, so we shade this. And for real z less than equals to 3, we shade the left parts. Then all the 3 inequalities are intersect in this region. Next example, on a sketch of an Argand diagram, shade the region whose points represent complex number z satisfying the inequalities. This is the perpendicular bisector and circle. For perpendicular bisector, it's a bisect of 2i and 1 plus I. So this is 2i and 1 plus I is over here. So the perpendicular bisector is the purple one, the purple line. And then for circle, center at 2 plus I, radius 2. Center at 2, 1, and radius 2. So we get this circle. For circle, the shaded region is inside the circle. Okay. And for the perpendicular bisector, we use the method z is nearer to 2i than 1 plus I, because z minus 2i is less than the z minus 1 minus I. So the shaded region is nearer to I, because 2i is over here. To intersect, our intersection is in this part. Next, calculate the least value of argument z for points in this region. The shaded region, the argument is start from origin. to get the least value of argument z, you can look this illustration. The least value of argument is right the intersection of the two loci. So this point is 2 plus 3i. Therefore, the least argument z is tan inverse 3 over 2. This is 3 and this is 2. And then we get 0.983. In general, the argument of complex number in radians. Last one, the complex number u is defined by u equals 7 plus I over 1 minus I. Express u in the form x plus iy, where x and y are real. Show on a sketch of an Argand diagram the points A, B, and C representing u, 7 plus I, and 1 minus I. By considering the arguments of 7 plus I and 1 minus I, show that tan inverse 4 over 3 equals tan inverse 1 over 7 plus 1 over 4 pi. So for A, you can times both numerator and denominator by conjugate of denominator, and then we get u equals 3 plus 4i. And then on sketch of Argand diagram, A is u, 3 plus 4i, 3 plus 4, this is A. B is 7 plus 7, 1, so B in here, and C is 1 minus I, 1 minus I, so C in here. And for part C, from part A, we can conclude that 3 plus 4i equals 7 plus I over 1 minus I. Using these properties to quotient these properties, argument z1 over z2 is argument z1 minus argument z2. So using these properties, argument 3 plus 4i equals argument 7 plus I minus argument 1 minus I. So tan inverse 4 over 3, tan inverse 1 over 7. Nah, 1 minus I is in fourth quadrant, so we can directly use tan inverse negative 1 over 1. And then we get tan inverse 4 over 3 equals tan inverse 1 over 7 plus pi over 4.